Teams out there are really starting to show their true colors.
Patriots get shut out at home, and they're 1-4 for the first time since the 2000 season.
We are now through 5 weeks of what has been a chaotic and drama-filled 2023 NFL regular season. Plenty of good football left, but with 5 weeks down, let's see how all 32 teams stack up against one another. Number 32, Carolina Panthers. Last time's ranking, 31. Bryce Young finally showed some promise with 25 completions for 247 yards and 3 touchdowns. But he also had 2 interceptions in a 42-24 blowout loss against the Detroit Lions. With the Chicago Bears winning in Week 5, the Panthers are football's last winless team. Things are not getting any easier with the Miami Dolphins next on the schedule. Number 31, New England Patriots. Last time's ranking, 26. So, just how bad is it in New England? Well, 1 week after Bill Belichick suffered his worst loss as a head coach in Dallas, his Patriots were smacked 34-0 by the visiting New Orleans Saints at Gillette Stadium. Things haven't looked this bleak in Foxborough since the early 90s. Number 30, New York Giants. Last time's ranking, 30. No offensive line, no playmakers outside of Saquon Barkley, a practically invisible defense. But other than that, things aren't that bad for a Giants team that had high expectations after last year's surprise run to the Elite Eight. You gotta wonder if Daniel Jones is given the bench soon, and if Barkley will hit the trade block ahead of the October 31st deadline. Number 29, Arizona Cardinals. Last time's ranking, 28. The Cardinals' upset to the Dallas Cowboys in Week 3 feels like a lifetime ago. They have surrendered 69 points since, having gotten blown out by the San Francisco 49ers and then the Cincinnati Bengals. If there's any consolation, it's that Arizona remains a frontrunner for the Caleb Williams sweepstakes. Number 28, Denver Broncos. Last time's ranking, 27. 1 year ago, Denver had the worst scoring offense in the league. Here in 2023, they currently bolster the worst scoring defense in the league, having allowed a pathetic 36.2 points per game. John Payton's obsession with retaining Vance Joseph as his DC still makes no sense to us. Number 27, Chicago Bears. Last time's ranking, 31. The Bears took advantage of an undisciplined Washington Commanders team on Thursday night and humiliated them by a final score of 40-20 at FedEx Field, giving Matt Eberflus and company their first win of 2023. Beating a team with a mediocre QB and a garbage defense isn't exactly a giant cause for celebration, but hey, the Bears will simply take a W however they can get them. Number 26, Minnesota Vikings. Last time's ranking, 25. Minnesota kept it close against the defending champions on Sunday evening, but they ultimately fell 27-20 to the visiting Kansas City Chiefs. And with Kirk Cousins 5 months away from free agency, you do wonder if Minnesota is open to trading him. Number 25, Washington Commanders. Last time's ranking, 21. Only Denver's defense has been worse than a Commanders unit, which has allowed a gross 32 points per game. Just 1 year ago, this was the number 7 scoring defense in football. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that the sky is falling here in DC. Number 24, Las Vegas Raiders. Last time's ranking, 29. A nice bounce-back win for the Silver and Black, who won a nail-biter over Jordan Love and the visiting Packers on Monday. At 2-3, the Raiders are far from an afterthought in a wide-open AFC playoff race. Not to mention, they have the unraveling Pats and one-win Bears next on the schedule. Number 23, Tennessee Titans. Last time's ranking, 17. 2 touchdowns and 5 interceptions for Ryan Tannehill through 5 weeks, and yet Mike Vrabel won't even consider a change. Yeah, ridiculous. Look, Tennessee is in contention to win a wide-open AFC South, but Vrabel's stubbornness and loyalty to Tannehill suggest that he is not doing his best to win now. Number 22, Green Bay Packers. Last time's ranking, 19. Just an all-around frustrating loss for the Packers in Sin City on Monday night. Jordan Love failed to take advantage of one of football's worst defenses, and Green Bay's ultra-talented D once again underperformed in crunch time. That 2-1 start feels like forever ago. Number 21, Los Angeles Rams. Last time's ranking, 15. Cooper Kupp's return was the main story for the Rams this week. LA should remain humble after keeping it close against a team that easily overmatches them in terms of talent. The Rams get the Cardinals and then a Jekyll and Hyde Steelers team next, both at home. So, there is a promising road here to getting above 500 again. Number 20, New York Jets. Last time's ranking, 23. The Jets took advantage of a Denver team that's come to love giving games away, and the result was a 31-21 New York victory. Huge difference between being 1-4 and 2-3, so Robert Saleh's group kept their playoff hopes alive with a gutsy victory. Number 19, Houston Texans. Last time's ranking, 11. disappointing loss for the Texans, who made Desmond Ridder look like Patrick Mahomes in a 21-19 defeat. CJ Stroud had to do most of the work on his own with a non-existent ground game and a quiet day from wideout Nico Collins. Houston's mini 2-game win streak is now over, but they have one of the easiest schedules the rest of the way. Number 18, Cincinnati Bengals. Last time's ranking, 24. A loss to the lowly Cardinals would have put away the Bengals' playoff hopes for good, but amid a tough season full of injuries and adversity in the early going, Joe Burrow and company have found a way to hang in there. Something tells us that we haven't seen their best football yet, but we'll soon get a real good idea of what these Bengals are truly made of. Number 17, Atlanta Falcons. Last time's ranking, 18. The Falcons just barely squeaked past Houston at home to get back above 500, thanks to a stellar performance by Desmond Ridder. The second-year QB had 329 yards passing and 1 touchdown in the nail-biting victory. You look at the remaining games, and there isn't a contest that they should definitely lose. Number 16, New Orleans Saints. Last time's ranking, 22. That was easily the Saints' best and most convincing win under Dennis Allen as head coach. This was the first game where the Saints actually played up to their potential and looked like a team that we expect to win the NFC South. Like Atlanta, New Orleans has a clean and manageable schedule from here on out. Number 15, Pittsburgh Steelers. Last time's ranking, 16. If someone told you that Pittsburgh would be 3-2 despite averaging a woeful 15.8 points per game through 5 games, someone would call you crazy. But hey, it's a testament to the Steelers' D and Mike Tomlin's Hall of Fame coaching job. Number 14, Cleveland Browns. Last time's ranking, 14. The Browns' bye week came at a pretty good time, as it allows Deshaun Watson to rest up and recover for Week 6. With the 49ers, Colts, and Seahawks making up the Browns' next 3 games, we'll soon see what this year's Browns are really made of. Number 13, Indianapolis Colts. Last time's ranking, 20. Bad news, Anthony Richardson could miss a month or more after suffering a pretty bad shoulder injury. The good news, the Colts still beat the Titans on Sunday and are 3-0 with backup Gardner Minshew II. Throw in Jonathan Taylor's 3-year contract extension and the vibes are indeed good in Indianapolis right now. Number 12, Los Angeles Chargers. Last time's ranking, 13. The banged-up Chargers are also probably a little bit thankful for their early season bye week. Now on a mini 2-game win streak, the Bolts have it tough with the Cowboys and then the Chiefs next on their schedule. Number 11, Baltimore Ravens. Last time's ranking, 6. Is there a more frustrating team so far than the Ravens? Their defense shut down Kenny Pickett's Steelers for most of the game, but then Lamar Jackson and the offense committed mistake after mistake after mistake and let their arch rivals come back to win. Baltimore is 3-2 despite lackluster play through 5 weeks. But is the offensive explosion ever gonna come?
When are they gonna get to the fireworks factory?
Number 10, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Last time's ranking, 10. Baker Mayfield's Bucs didn't have the best of bye weeks, with New Orleans and Atlanta winning in Week 5. It is now go time for the Bucs, especially with the Lions, Falcons, and then the Bills next on their schedule. Number 9, Dallas Cowboys. Last time's ranking, 5. Dallas had a prime opportunity to make a statement on Sunday night. The only statement that they made, though, was a simple reminder that they are nowhere close to the 49ers level. Number 8, Jacksonville Jaguars. Last time's ranking, 12. The Jaguars put together one of the biggest statement wins of the season, dominating Josh Allen's Bills on both sides of the ball en route to a 25-20 victory. Trevor Lawrence, Calvin Ridley, and Travis Etienne Jr. all made easy work of Buffalo's D, reminding the world that this offensive trio can hang in there with the best of the very best. Number 7, Buffalo Bills. Last time's ranking, 4. Frustrating loss for the Bills, who waited until midway through the 4th quarter to show up against Jacksonville. The banged-up Bills defense lost Matt Milano and Daquan Jones, too. Not exactly ideal for a team with championship aspirations. Number 6, Seattle Seahawks. Last time's ranking, 8. Despite being on a bye week, Seattle moves up 2 spots thanks to losses from several top 10 teams. The Seahawks have a pretty manageable schedule in the coming weeks, though Sunday's Week 6 contest against Joe Burrow's Bengals should be a bit of a challenge. Number 5, Detroit Lions. Last time's ranking, 7. Woo, what a week for the Lions. They crushed the Panthers at home while watching Minnesota and Green Bay fall this week. Factor in the head-to-head tiebreaker, and Dan Campbell's Lions are already 3 games up on the pack for first in the NFC North. Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, David Montgomery, and Sam Laporta round out a prolific offense nucleus that has been borderline unstoppable for 5 weeks now. Number 4, Miami Dolphins. Last time's ranking, 9. The Dolphins rebounded from their blowout loss in Buffalo by taking down the sluggish Giants at home. Go ahead and put Miami down for 5-1 with the winless Panthers next on the schedule, followed by a potential Oscar-worthy picture in Week 7 when they visit the Eagles on Sunday Night Football. Number 3, Kansas City Chiefs. Last time's ranking, 3. KC has reeled off 4 straight wins now, thanks largely to a defense that allowed only 16 points per game. This just in, Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce remain phenomenal at football. Through the first month of 2023, it is evident that they are still the team to beat in the AFC. Number 2, Philadelphia Eagles. Last time's ranking, 2. The Eagles still haven't put together a complete team performance, yet they're still a perfect 5-0. I guess it's kind of hard to complain, right, Philly fans? The offense is rolling as always, but that banged-up D has had some struggles getting off the field. Number 1, San Francisco 49ers. Last time's ranking, 1. Does anything really need to be said here? The 49ers welcomed Dallas into Levi Stadium and crushed their longtime rivals by a final score of 42-10. The 49ers are in a class of their own right now. But what changes would you make to our Week 6 edition of the 2023 NFL Power Rankings? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton. And hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.